Solar Group presents. This was once just a dream of the skies, the freedom of flight, of round-the-world journeys. Yet we've made it happen. But what did it take? Our dreams became our goals. Our concepts turned into our plans. Our ideas have transformed into a roadmap and production technology. And the years ahead are booked out with development and construction, components and materials, model manufacturing and testing. All this marks the progress from dream to result. Join us on this journey. Solar Group presents a new generation of airships. The best way to predict the future is to create it, so let's do so together.
Hello dear friends, welcome back to the exciting New Generation Airships project. As always, I'm Gennady Babanin, your dedicated guide to the fascinating world of advanced airship technologies. Today, we'll be giving another comprehensive presentation on the innovative New Generation Airships project. Before we begin, please do give us some quick feedback. Let us know if you can clearly see and hear everything perfectly, and if the broadcast is indeed working everywhere for you. Please write something, a plus, a minus, or any kind of sign at all, so we know for sure, and then we can promptly get started. So today everything is pretty much standard. The entire presentation will last for about 40 minutes or perhaps even an hour if there are a lot of interesting questions. During the presentation itself, you can freely write your questions in the comments section, and after the presentation concludes, we'll have a separate dedicated question and answer block. I'll certainly set aside ample time to answer them all. And please keep on leaving your comments and do give us your feedback in general. What are you expecting? What do you feel is currently missing? We'll certainly do our best to follow your suggestions. It looks like everything is working properly, so let's get started. Today, we'll also talk about how you can become a part of this big project, this story that's being created right now, so please stay with us until the very end. I hope you'll find it quite interesting. We'll thoroughly break down exactly what specific elements we are creating within this particular project, what the primary goals are, which esteemed companies are actively participating, and precisely what kind of significant funding we meticulously plan to attract during the entire course of this important project. We'll go over the comprehensive roadmap, and I will explain how potential investors can effectively make money from this innovative business. And of course, I will share detailed information about our exclusive partner program. We will talk about its numerous opportunities and clearly explain the straightforward process of how to join it. So, are you truly ready? Then let's get started. Friends, the truly groundbreaking New Generation Airships project is a revolutionary breakthrough idea. It's already quite clear and evident. It's been thoroughly proven over the years. We understand it step by step, with meticulous attention to detail, and within our ambitious project, it will be fully implemented and successfully brought to life with great precision and care. We are actively creating innovative, cutting-edge, lighter-than-air aircraft, capable of performing the most intricate and complex tasks across various essential industries, from crucial cargo transportation and diligent forest patrols to vital scientific missions, efficiently delivering equipment to truly hard-to-reach regions and remote areas, and even actively participating in critical rescue operations, exciting tourism ventures, and significantly contributing to the ongoing development and exploration of outer space. To bring this large-scale project to life, we assembled a truly strong, the best team we could find in Russia, genuine professionals. This team includes engineers, candidates of technical sciences, academicians, designers, and developers, people with extensive and rich experience in the field of aeronautics. And most importantly, these are people who are truly passionate about the very idea of airship construction and are united by a single overarching goal: to return airships to the skies and make them an integral part of our air transport system in the very near future. For those who are not yet familiar with this venture, this is a crowd investing project which is funded by the contributions of numerous private investors from various corners of the globe. These individuals understand and see the full potential for the development of this industry and have chosen to participate in this project, to invest their resources in it, supporting it with rubles, dollars, or I don't know, even just by spreading the word that such a project exists. And in addition to all this, to become co-owners of this large-scale business under construction, which we are creating together with you right now. The initial start of the funding for this project was in August of 2024, which is precisely when the pre-launch phase was officially announced. The official first stage of the project truly began on March 4th, 2025. Now, let's move on to the next slide. A 3 to 5 year outlook. Here I'll go into more detail about exactly what we plan to create with the attracted investments, and I'll explain how the structure of the entire project will be organized. First of all, I want to emphasize that our goal is not just to build an airship and sell it at a higher price. It's much more ambitious and very broader than that. We are creating an entire industry. We are forming a full-fledged ecosystem that will include the key links necessary for sustainable and scalable development. In the coming years, as an integral part of the New Generation Airships project, we plan to establish a fully fledged and comprehensive design bureau. This will serve as a kind of central core, the very heart of the company's engineering thought. Here, innovative new airship models will be conceived, modern technologies will be effectively implemented, and advanced structural solutions will be developed. Yatotao. As I previously mentioned, we already have a highly skilled team in place. This team consists of leading Russian specialists in the specialized field of airships, distinguished candidates of technical sciences, experienced engineers, and esteemed professors with extensive years of invaluable experience. Next, we will proceed to establish our own production facilities. We meticulously plan to either construct new facilities or, at certain crucial stages, lease suitable manufacturing spaces for the precise production of key components such as the essential envelopes, robust gondolas, vital ballonets, and all other necessary elements used in advanced airship construction. A significant part of the manufacturing processes will be concentrated directly in Aerograd, which is the company's future industrial and advanced testing cluster. This is a crucial strategic move that will provide us with complete independence and robust technological stability for the systematic and continuous development of the company. Aerograd is a truly unique space, a comprehensive complex that includes spacious hangars for the assembly and maintenance of airships of various classes and designs, alongside a fully equipped flight test complex where all essential technical, ground, and flight tests of all future airship models will reliably take place. Furthermore, there will also be a dedicated training center. This will be the very first fully equipped and modern facility in Russia, specifically designed for the comprehensive training of skilled airship pilots and all necessary technical personnel. Here, we will truly be pioneers, since there are simply no such dedicated centers in the entire country today, and our paramount task is to meticulously create this essential kind of comprehensive training center. Let me clarify once again with utmost precision. We are not just building airships, we are actively creating an entire, robust infrastructure that will profoundly shape a certain distinctive culture and a solid foundation for a brand new era of air transport. All key operational areas are united under a single parent company, Aeronova. It is this company that project participants invest in, and it is its shares and, in the foreseeable future, its publicly traded stock that they receive for their participation in this project. Aeronova will be the central core of this exciting new industry, creating not only airships but also exploring and developing other highly promising directions that will also be developed within the company. After all, the company will also be developing other commercial projects in the fields of unmanned systems, stratospheric vehicles, probes, and other aerospace solutions. Some of these significant projects are already actively in development. There are existing and substantial advancements in these particular areas, and they will also generate considerable profit in the future, becoming an additional and vital source of income for the company and, accordingly, for all its valued co-owners, dedicated participants. In other words, the project's astute investors who are joining us now. We are creating and diligently building an entire industry from scratch and laying a very solid and enduring foundation for a brand new high-tech sector. And every investor today is truly our co-creator. This represents a significant, indeed a truly important contribution on their part, which becomes for all of us a truly great and historic moment. Now, moving on to the next slide, let's examine the project numbers, friends. To successfully implement the entire New Generation Airships project program, it is absolutely necessary to raise $100 million. This significant amount comprehensively includes not only the essential engineering, production, and critical infrastructure costs, but also generous referral and partnership rewards for all project participants. The carefully considered timeline set by the team for its complete implementation is from 3 to 5 years. We have already successfully completed the entire first crucial stage. Now we are actively in the second stage. During this time, we have meticulously designed, carefully assembled, and successfully brought to initial comprehensive testing our first innovative airship, specifically the unmanned Nova 01 model. We have thoroughly completed the entire first cycle of rigorous tests on this particular model, which comprehensively included the sophisticated control systems essential for precise takeoff, gentle landing, secure mooring, and efficient feathering. Consequently, we have diligently collected the first invaluable data package, which is absolutely vital to effectively train our advanced automated systems for the future, more sophisticated model. In other words, Nova 01 has truly become a foundational development platform for us, a critical environment where we are actively refining and meticulously testing the essential key control and advanced piloting systems that are specifically designed to be utilized in all of our diverse future models. The very next model we are developing is also currently in an active development stage. This is the Aerolet 01, another model of similar size and general dimensions, but with significantly improved aerodynamic characteristics. The outer shell for it is already completely finished. The robust metal framework has been carefully assembled, specifically the tail section and a substantial part of the gondola. We have also successfully assembled the nose reinforcement section. Now, in the very near future, we will definitely need to carefully lay the essential power lines that will effectively carry electricity, meticulously connect the various batteries, precisely install the main computer system, the crucial air pressurization system, and the vital pressure relief valves. In general, there is still quite a significant bit of detailed and intricate work left to be done, but there is still a great deal more to accomplish. We urgently need to finish all of this soon, then move on to the critical gas filling stage, and subsequently to the initial flight tests of our brand new craft, Noaura. After successfully completing all the necessary stages and officially launching the key strategic directions, the anticipated capitalization of the company is projected to be at least $1 million. This particular figure is meticulously based on a fairly conservative and cautious model, carefully taking into account the absolute minimum estimated profits of the various enterprises during the initial 3 years of the company's comprehensive operation after its, so to speak, official launch. In actual reality, the true potential could be significantly and substantially higher, but it is critically important to fully understand that Aeronova is indeed a pioneering and groundbreaking entity, a truly innovative company that will undoubtedly have to blaze its very own trail and meticulously shape the entire modern aeronautics market completely from scratch. After all, this particular field is currently quite underdeveloped and nascent in Russia, and we genuinely face a truly major and significant challenge to thoroughly revive and completely restore it, naturally with a keen eye toward the broader international scale and global perspective. So, let's now move on to the next point. Here on this very important slide, we have the comprehensive roadmap. Let's talk in much more detail about how exactly this entire project will be meticulously implemented and what specific stages it will progressively go through. I want to point out that we're not talking about investment stages of financing, but rather about the practical stages of development, the essential steps in our comprehensive roadmap, which is clearly divided into 11 key steps. The first stage is the official launch. We've already successfully started and fully completed it. The main parent company, which is named Aeronova, has been established. The core team of skilled specialists has been assembled and is already working, currently designing several types of airships. Nova 01 is an already thoroughly created and extensively tested craft. The initial, crucial first stage of testing has already been successfully completed. It is an unmanned airship with a substantial payload capacity of approximately 20 kilograms. Its impressive length is precisely 17 meters, and the total volume of its gas envelope is exactly 130 cubic meters. Additionally, during the very first stage of the comprehensive roadmap, important work is actively underway on designing even larger, more advanced models. Nova 2 is a manned airship with a volume of 2,000 cubic meters, and its payload capacity is expected to be around 500 kilograms. For those who don't know, in the names of the Nova airships, Nova 01, Nova 2, Nova 8, the number at the end of the name indicates its gas volume. So if there's a 2, it means 2,000 cubic meters of gas. If it's an 8, then it's 8,000 cubic meters. Nova 01 has a volume of 130 cubic meters, so let's say we rounded it to 01. In addition to this, work is also being done on stratospheric probes in collaboration with industry institutes. This area is also very interesting for us, and we are working on it, trying to move forward systematically in this direction. In the second stage, it is planned to acquire a plot of land for the construction of an aerodrome, the future center for airship building. There are some difficulties in this area, which you are probably already familiar with. Not everything goes as quickly and smoothly as we would like, but the team is taking a very careful and considered approach to selecting this particular site, because there may be certain legal encumbrances and potential difficulties. In order to effectively avoid these issues and adequately protect the company from future disputes and any unforeseen complications, we have to be very thorough and meticulous in choosing the absolutely right plot of land. We also plan to begin the detailed process of designing the essential infrastructure, including the very first hangar on the specific land we intend to acquire, where our next craft will be meticulously built and carefully assembled, a full-scale, full-size model, so to speak, representing a significant step forward. This is the impressive Nova 2 with a substantial volume of 2,000 cubic meters. Nova 2 is indeed the very first craft of its kind and will also serve as a highly versatile kind of flying laboratory, on the solid basis of which 3 crucial key directions will be meticulously developed. The first is a dedicated cargo version of the airship, the second is a comfortable passenger version, and the third is a specialized modification for comprehensive monitoring purposes. All of the airship's essential systems will be thoroughly tested. That is to say, the airship will be meticulously created specifically to travel along a precisely designated route and carefully monitor various critical areas that are set as its primary targets. At the same time, in the second crucial stage, we are continuing and will indeed continue extensive testing on the Nova 01. As you may know, we unfortunately had an incident. The Nova 01 was quite extensively damaged during one of the recent rigorous tests. We are now systematically and diligently restoring it. The outer envelope has already been completely repaired, and the robust metal framework of the gondola, which was also considerably damaged in the unfortunate incident, is currently being meticulously manufactured. Soon it will be fully back in service and once again bringing us immense joy. We were incredibly lucky. In fact, none of the critically important systems were damaged. To be precise, the envelope was damaged, not completely out of order, but still affected. Literally just a couple of propellers were damaged when they hit the ground. Fortunately, we had spares, so we'll be able to get it back in service quickly. The only thing is, lately our focus has shifted more toward our next airship model. This is the Aerolet 01, which has improved aerodynamic characteristics. We are now directing all our efforts and attention to assembling it as quickly as possible and getting it up in the air. As I mentioned, the Aerolet 01 has improved aerodynamic characteristics. Its payload capacity will be about 50 kilograms, its length will be 18 meters, and its volume is almost 190 cubic meters, specifically 188 or 189. This airship model, together with the Nova 01, will be part of a line of airships ranging in size from 130 to 190 cubic meters. Let's consider these relatively smaller ones will also certainly occupy a very specific niche. airships that will be primarily used for extensive advertising purposes and quite possibly for some detailed monitoring or efficient deliveries along relatively shorter, more localized routes. Let me kindly remind you that these relatively small models were initially created primarily to thoroughly understand the fundamental operating principles of airships, to meticulously test all the intricate control mechanisms, and also to deliberately allow for potential mistakes so that we can effectively avoid them in the development of much larger vehicles. In addition, at this crucial stage, we are diligently continuing our important work on the Nova 2 and Nova 8 airships. We are actively working on detailed mock-ups, carefully refining the precise layouts, the robust structural solutions, and various complex technological nuances. Stage 3. At this stage, after setting up and launching the envelope production, we plan to start mass production and sales of unmanned airship modifications with volumes ranging from 130 to 190 cubic meters. This includes the Nova 01 and Aerolet 01 models. Let me remind you that the Nova 01 was an exact scale replica of our next vehicle, the Nova 2, and the future production models will differ in their structural features. They will have more powerful engines and different, more advanced propellers will be utilized. These new models will be even more efficient, significantly more maneuverable, and indeed even more economically viable because the Nova 01 was specifically designed as a precise scale replica of the Nova 2 airship. In order to fully understand precisely how it would truly behave in real life, in other words, it's essentially a dynamic and accurate replica, the critical dimensions were carefully preserved down to the exact distance from the propellers to the ground, all of this to best simulate the operational performance of the Nova 2 airship. Also, at the third stage of our development, we will launch the very first commercial stratospheric probes. As I have previously mentioned, we are also actively working in this significant direction together with various industry partners and esteemed institutes. Not long ago, we journeyed to the city of Curzon, where we successfully conducted another launch of one of the probes and thoroughly tested the control system of the device at various altitudes. In other words, using certain innovative technologies. Our primary goal was to effectively control the probe at different heights so that it would enter diverse air currents and move in the specific directions that are advantageous for us. The assembly of the Nova 2 airship is also currently ongoing and will continue its progress. At the third and final stage, we plan to conduct its very first ground tests. Another truly important point to consider is that we plan to actively begin establishing a comprehensive training center for the thorough preparation of skilled pilots and dedicated technical personnel. After all, let me kindly remind you there are currently no such specialized centers in Russia, or they regrettably no longer exist. The entire process is certainly not quick, but it is quite important and absolutely essential, and we will definitely have to go through it. We have already signed a preliminary agreement with a very capable person who will actively help us in this crucial area, and it is precisely at the third, more advanced stage that we will focus much more closely on this particular issue, because right now there are indeed more important, more pressing matters that truly require all our immediate attention. Stage 4 of our ambitious development plan. We plan to finally get our Nova 2 airborne and move on to its crucial linear flight tests. We also plan to begin construction of a second hangar, specifically designed to accommodate a much larger airship model, the impressive new Nova 8, which will have a substantial volume of 8,000 cubic meters, allowing for greater payload capacity and extended operational capabilities. Production and assembly of the impressive Nova 8 will also meticulously take place at this crucial stage. We enthusiastically plan to move on to more active and detailed design work on the magnificent rigid airship Nova 35, although significant work in this direction is already being diligently carried out in parallel. If you consistently follow our latest news, our dedicated colleagues are currently assembling a precise model of the Nova 35 airship at a substantial scale of 20:1. This impressive machine will ultimately be about 6 meters in length. Right now, we are diligently constructing the foundational frame of this particular model. Next, we will carefully cover it with a durable fabric, and then, at that point, we will possess a fully developed and complete model precisely at a scale of 20:1 of the magnificent Nova 35 airship. Let me remind you that the Nova 35 is indeed the very first rigid-type airship that the company Aeronova will be creating and developing. This is our absolutely key and primary main goal that we are striving for within the comprehensive framework of the New Generation Airships project. So overall, in the fourth stage, we will continue to significantly expand the range of stratospheric probes, develop and create new modifications, and essentially move steadily toward our clearly set goals. In the fifth stage, we will conduct thorough ground tests of the Nova 8. Training for our pilots and technicians will continue at our very own dedicated training center, which we also plan to establish and fully develop. And that's probably all for the fifth stage of our development plan. Let's move on to the next slide, shall we? So the sixth stage. In this sixth stage, the comprehensive development of various modifications of the Nova 2 airship in different configurations and designs begins. As I previously mentioned, in the initial developmental stages, 3 primary and distinct modifications will be thoroughly tested. Specifically, the passenger version, the cargo transport version, and the comprehensive monitoring version. We will then proceed with the serious and dedicated development of these very important modifications. Additionally, in the sixth crucial stage, extensive flight and design tests of the Nova 8 airship will meticulously take place. Furthermore, the comprehensive development of the Nova 35 airship will commence. Various of its essential components and critical assemblies will undergo their very first serious and detailed elaboration, and we plan to build a dedicated and purpose-built hangar specifically for the Nova 35 airship. This will be a hangar of truly very large, serious, significant, and substantial dimensions. At Stage 7, the initial production of various modifications for the Nova 2 airship will commence. Concurrently, the crucial development of specialized modifications for the Nova 8 airship will also begin, including essential cargo, detailed observation, critical rescue, and continuous monitoring versions. These represent the primary and most significant directions for this 7th stage of development. At the 8th stage, the full-scale production of modifications for the Nova 8 airship will then begin. At precisely the same time, the initial production of all necessary components for the Nova 35 will also effectively start. This is also quite an important preparatory stage in the serial production of this type of craft. The 9th stage is the production of the serial model of the Nova 2 airship. Flight and comprehensive design tests of the Nova 35 airship are currently underway, and the 10th crucial stage is the serial production of the Nova 8 and the official certification of the Nova 35. We then move on to the full-scale serial production of the Nova 8 and the complete certification and essential licensing of all the necessary and pertinent documents for the Nova 35 airship. This is already the vital preparation for effectively entering the market with the largest and most advanced airship in the current lineup, which is specifically planned to be implemented within the comprehensive framework of the New Generation Airships project. And the 11th and final stage is the crucial transition to serial production of the Nova 35 airship. At the same time, the comprehensive design of new models begins both in the category of lighter-than-air airships and those with medium and heavy lifting capacity. Of course, the company will not solely stop at small-sized airships, although it is precisely on them that we will be primarily focused within the framework of the current project. After all, let me kindly remind you that the Nova 35 airship is indeed the largest airship within the comprehensive framework of the New Generation Airships project. However, if we carefully look at those truly colossal giants of the past that were previously built and effectively demonstrated their impressive capabilities, it is actually a comparatively small airship. Therefore, the Nova 35 will only be the very beginning, a significant kind of first step on the challenging path toward developing much larger, full-scale models, which will clearly be absolutely colossal machines. At the same time, we will be designing aircraft of various categories. The sources of funding for their creation, as well as for larger models, will be determined later, and it will not necessarily be through crowd investing. Let me remind you that a roadmap is a kind of plan that the team strives to follow, a reference point to guide us in order to achieve the goals the company has set for itself. So here we have a comprehensive perspective for the next 5 to 10 years. Friends, if we talk about a truly broader outlook, then in the upcoming next 5 to 10 years we definitively plan to launch full-scale, extensive serial production and commercial deliveries of airships of various distinct types and diverse categories. Everything, of course, will ultimately depend on the prevailing market and the specific demand that comes to us. By that time, this will definitely mean that we already have well-established and efficient production chains, a steady output of vehicles, and potentially, even though at the very least we will make a diligent effort for this, an entry into global markets. For this, we are already planting certain, let's say, strategic seeds that should germinate in the future. That is precisely why we are officially launching in November in the vibrant city of Dubai in order to actively participate in the prestigious International Airshow Expo, which will be prominently held this year in November, specifically from the 21st to the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. It will indeed take place in the magnificent city of Dubai. If anyone has the wonderful opportunity to come, please do visit the extensive exhibition, see us there and kindly support us. It would be truly great. Everyone is most welcome. You can even request valuable assistance from our dedicated technical support team on how to purchase a ticket correctly or where it's best to book your accommodation in order to, so to speak, make the logistical arrangements a bit easier and more convenient. And let's say we do have considerable experience in this particular area. We consistently help numerous people with these important matters, so if you happen to have such a specific request, please feel entirely free to reach out to us. So, well, aside from the exhibition, of course, we're not stopping, we're continuing our work. In parallel, over the next 5 to 10 years, new modifications of airships will be developed for various fields of application. And there it's quite likely that the stratosphere will also be tested and explored for durability by our airships. All existing models will be modernized, their scientific and technical potential will be increased as well as their functionality. We are constantly and diligently planning to grow and significantly improve our models because technology, as we all know, doesn't stand still for long. New and innovative solutions and advanced materials keep consistently emerging, and accordingly, we absolutely need to develop as well in order to stay, so to speak, firmly at the very forefront of the entire burgeoning airship industry and this highly specialized field. In terms of infrastructure, a major expansion is also being planned. New aerodromes will be constructed both in Russia itself and abroad. International offices, local assembly sites, as well as comprehensive training centers will be established in those specific places and countries where such centers do not yet exist. On the slide, you can now clearly see the most promising directions for the company's future development. It is precisely in these areas that active work will be carried out first and foremost, and partnerships will be built with government agencies, corporate clients, or research organizations and centers. This is the very horizon we are striving toward, moving step by step as we create a new industry. Now let's move on to the next slide. Project figures. Friends, at this moment, let's talk a bit about the numbers and the important logic behind the financing itself. As a significant part of our crowd investing project, we intend to distribute a total of 49 billion investment shares among investors. This is done through the dedicated investment platform Solar Group. After the investment round is successfully completed, a round consisting of 20 distinct stages, and the official share issuance process begins, all shares will subsequently be converted into Aeronova company stocks at a precise ratio of 100 shares to 1 stock. And in this way, all investors who participate will end up holding 490 million shares of the Aeronova company. In total, the company plans to issue 1 billion shares, which means that 49% of the shares will remain in free circulation among investors. These are the shares we are acquiring with you, while the controlling stake of 51% will be retained by the project founders and their team. This is a fairly transparent and well-balanced model that is commonly used in many businesses, where each individual investor becomes a co-owner and partial stakeholder of a real technology business with the legal right to receive dividends in the future and also to grow and increase their capital as the project develops, expands, and progresses in a carefully organized and planned manner. I hope everything is clear here. Let's move on. Next slide. Companies implementing the project. The project is being carried out by several companies, each with its own area of responsibility. As I mentioned, Aeronova is a company created within the framework of the New Generation Airships project specifically for its implementation. It is the one that will mass produce, operate and sell airships, as well as handle the construction of the Aerotown. The company will receive income from the implementation of the entire project and will distribute the profits among all its participants. As I mentioned, 51% of Aeronova's shares will belong to the team and founders who are building the airships. 49% of Aeronova's shares will be, or rather are currently managed by the financial company Solar Group, which is responsible for attracting investments to the project and representing the rights of investors. It is precisely through the Solar Group platform that you can become a participant in the project and join the group of people who have decided to support the project and become active participants. Right now, anyone interested can join by purchasing shares that are managed by Solar Group. After the financing is completed, the shares will be exchanged for Aeronova company stock and transferred to the investors as their property. Investors will then be able to receive dividends from the company's future profits or sell their assets at a higher price than they were originally purchased for at the time of acquisition. Discounts by stages. So, friends, the financing of our project is divided into 20 stages. This structure allows us to flexibly manage the development of the entire project, reduce risks both for the team itself and for investors, and better plan our budget and its growth. It's important to understand that with each new stage, the risks decrease because there are more and more results, ready-made solutions and working devices. And at the same time, the discount, that is the price reduction for purchasing specific shares, also decreases. In other words, the shares become significantly more expensive with each new and subsequent stage of development. On March 4th in the year 2025, we officially launched the very first stage of this exciting project, and the price of a single share at this particular stage doubled considerably compared to the initial pre-launch phase. We are currently operating at the second stage, which we successfully entered on July 11th. And if we carefully compare the second stage to the first, the shares have demonstrably increased in price by approximately 10%. This is a natural and truly predictable growth that accurately reflects the company's real achievements and the logical path it is currently following. Therefore, if you are planning to join the project, it is always most advantageous to do so at the current available stage without waiting for the transition to the next one. Because, as I have already said, with each subsequent stage the shares become more expensive, since the overall project carries less risk and the company achieves more results. So it's worth keeping this in mind if you're genuinely interested in the project. By the way, I'd like to remind you that we are planning to move to the next crucial third stage in the very near future. I don't know the precise exact date yet, but everything strongly indicates that this significant development will happen very soon. I'd also like to gently remind you that if you're just now getting fully acquainted with this exciting project but already clearly see its immense potential and are genuinely interested, we currently have a very special and exclusive offer called the Profit Pack from Solar Group, a fantastic crypto bonus. As an integral part of this generous promotion, when you top up your personal account with USDT or another accepted cryptocurrency, you will receive a significant 10% bonus directly to your balance. So keep this in mind when choosing payment methods. It's a great opportunity to get some extra benefits after topping up your personal account. You can find all the promotional offers in your personal account on the Solar Group website, and we also have links to it somewhere below this video. Next slide. How exactly can you become a valued partner of this project? Let me gently remind you that Solar Group and the New Generation Airships project also proudly have a partnership program within which anyone who finds this particular area or project truly interesting can readily share valuable information about the existence of this company and project. You can effectively share information on your social networks, perhaps thoughtfully write some articles, recommend it to trusted friends, close acquaintances, or simply to other people who might potentially be genuinely interested in this field. In your personal account, you have a unique personal link that you can readily share with genuinely interested people. And if someone ultimately decides they truly want to actively participate in this particular project and subsequently joins as a new investor, you will then receive a substantial reward from the company for your dedicated efforts. This is quite an incredibly effective tool that is actually widely used in all major businesses, and even prominent banks actively participate in it. It's essentially a comprehensive referral system. Open any app, you'll most likely find such a program there. And it's thanks to this kind of program that the New Generation Airships project is being implemented. It has proven to be quite effective, and the advertising budget allocated for the company's development is used as purposefully as possible. There's no need to buy expensive commercials on TV channels or purchase advertisements. There's no need to advertise in newspapers, on billboards, or with bloggers, because the effectiveness of such advertising isn't always very significant, and the company might often end up spending money quite inefficiently, so to speak, without truly tangible results. That's precisely why there's a dedicated partner program, where the company pays its partners only when it receives a direct, specifically targeted action, namely a new and valuable investor in its project, someone who has actively supported it and also become a committed and active participant. Therefore, to become a valued participant in the affiliate program, you truly need to register on the official Solar Group website. Carefully review and formally sign the comprehensive partnership agreement. Then thoroughly familiarize yourself with all the excellent promotional tools readily available in your very own personal account. And then you can immediately start sharing important information about the project, enthusiastically telling others all about it, and earning significant referral rewards. You can accomplish all this from the very first day after your successful registration. It's not even absolutely necessary to be an active investor in the project itself. I know plenty of compelling stories about many individuals who just enthusiastically jumped in with wild, unbridled enthusiasm simply because they genuinely liked the project itself so much. They wanted to participate in it, but they themselves didn't have, let's say, spare funds for this, but they had a burning desire to be involved, so they worked with the affiliate program. They simply shared information that the project existed, talked about it, wrote articles, recommended it, and the affiliate program allowed them to earn money. Each person decides for themselves how to use the money they've earned. Some withdraw it, for some it even becomes their main source of income, and some invest it in the project just as they wanted to before. And that's basically it. There's a QR code on the slide above. You can simply point your phone at it and it will take you directly to the project's website and the affiliate program section. So let's move on. So friends, this slide is mainly for those who have been familiar with Solar Group for quite a while, specifically since around 2017 to 2018. If you registered in your personal account before the pre-launch, that is before August 7th, 2024, and were already a Solar Group partner at that time, you need to activate your marketing plan. This particular opportunity is specifically designed for those individuals who already possess some established structures, perhaps some existing pools of loyal clients, or have successfully invited people from a previous project, thereby ensuring that you have the excellent opportunity to receive valuable referral rewards from this exciting new project. In order to properly and fully activate your unique partner link within this brand new project, you will undoubtedly need to carefully go through a few relatively simple and straightforward steps. First of all, it is absolutely essential to make a personal investment of at least $50 in the New Generation Airships project in order to fully activate your valuable partner reward from your entire first level structure, completely regardless of the specific time when you originally invited the client or investor to participate in the project. If you genuinely want to activate the remaining levels to their full depth available within your structure, according to your specific partner status, it is entirely sufficient for at least one individual person from your very first level to also invest a total of $50 into the project. Everything is quite simple and, in my honest opinion, practically happens on its own, almost entirely without your direct involvement, as long as you initially deposit your own $50. Please note that if there is no personal investment of at least $50, unfortunately, you will not be able to activate the referral reward. These are extremely simple conditions. I don't even see the point in emphasizing this, especially if you are an active person. You already have your own structures from the previous project, and you have long since forgotten that you even needed to fulfill such a marketing plan. This is simply done to filter out, so to speak, inactive dead souls who are no longer participating in the project, have forgotten about it, and no longer log in. That's it. It's simply done for this reason. Now let's move on. Next slide. How do you invest in the project? Friends, you can invest in the project through the personal account on the Solar Group company website. To do this, go to the investments section, find the New Generation Airships tab in the main menu, or use the QR code that you now see on your screen. Then select and pay for a share package, and that's basically it. Top up your personal account, choose the desired share package, and pay for it. You can pay in installments or with a one-time payment. There is a fairly wide selection of packages available, so everyone can find something suitable for themselves. Just note that when you choose a package with installment payments, there is a payment schedule, and it is structured in such a way that within one package there is a pool of shares. The largest, let's say, tranche that you receive comes in the very last month, so to speak. This is done simply to motivate people to fulfill the commitments they take on when choosing a particular package, especially when paying in installments. This is simply done so that the company can forecast its budget for the future. That is, it sees how many packages have been sold, for what amount, and understands that a certain sum will be coming in each month, more or less. Based on this, it can make plans, purchasing materials, acquiring airfields, machinery, and so on. So be careful when choosing a package, assess your capabilities, and in general, learn more about the project and get involved if it resonates with you and you see potential in it. Well, I think that's all from me for now. I'm ready to answer your questions if you have any. Let me check and see if there are any. Yes, I see there are questions. So the first question, how many spots are left in the 1,000 club in Dirigible? If there are any left, I know for sure that there are still spots available. I've asked this question several times and they didn't give me the exact number, but they said there are still spots and they're gradually running out. So there are still spots. They didn't tell me exactly how many, but they do exist. But if you plan to join, then if possible, of course, don't put it off. All right, next question. In China, they've actually made portable power stations with airships. Yes, I saw that news too. It was quite interesting. Honestly, I truly don't understand the people who send information about these airships from other countries, and then some people immediately start getting quite upset about it, saying, why are you sending this here? These are our direct competitors, and so on and so forth. They really start getting angry at those who share valuable information about these competitors. Honestly, I truly don't see any significant problem with the fact that this field is actively developing in parallel in other countries. After all, these are genuinely like-minded people who are also deeply passionate about this area, who are also diligently trying to promote it in their own unique contexts, and are consistently working to create effective models. And if someone truly achieves some success in this field, I genuinely feel very happy about it, because in reality the market today is absolutely and completely empty. Even if there are several dozen or perhaps even hundreds of companies actively developing in this direction, I'm quite sure there will be enough room for everyone. In any case, in Russia, we are the only ones who are deeply involved in this, and for Russia there are more than enough tasks that need to be addressed, and we will continue to work on them. So if someone else succeeds in this area, I can only be glad, because after all, shared informational space is being formed across the whole planet about the gradual emergence of airships. people are gaining some exposure to the fact that airships are being developed in this or that country. China here, America, someone else, something else. This means there really is a certain trend, a kind of collective intention for this mode of transport to return. That's why I think it's great that everything is developing, that there are some advancements. Maybe we'll pick up something from them, some ideas, developments, and they'll get something from us, and I don't see any problem with that. So I don't see any more questions here for now. Let me check somewhere on YouTube, perhaps. So how much do you need to invest to get into the 1,000 club? If I'm not mistaken, the investment should be $10,000. For the club, $150,000, I think that's right. As for when the second stage is planned to be completed, I don't have an exact date yet, but something tells me, based on conversations within the team, that it will happen very soon. The information will be announced in advance so that all participants who would like to join at the current stage have time to do so. But everything indicates that we are practically ready to move on to the third stage, and I have a feeling this will happen before the end of the year. So, are there any finished airships or just pictures? Well, as I understand it, we have a new person here. Yes, Joe, there are indeed finished airships. We have already successfully developed the very first model, a 17-meter airship, Nova 01, which is already flying successfully. If you visit our channel, there are already several videos showing just how well it flies, how it effectively demonstrates its efficiency, and how it operates in pilot mode via remote control. This craft has already completed its first round of tests and has proven its effectiveness. Of course, we did damage it a bit during the last test, but it was, let's say, purely a human factor. SIPO, a significant human factor indeed. We got a bit too relaxed and complacent, and the prevailing weather conditions also played a crucial and impactful role. And that particular day we were actually strongly advised not to fly at all because the wind gusts, which were quite powerful, exceeded 12 meters per second. For a delicate craft like this, those are exceptionally strong air currents in which it can behave quite unpredictably, especially if it enters turbulent airflows near tall buildings or other structures. So that's precisely why we already have a readily available craft. The Nova 01 is already flying. Right now we're diligently finishing assembling the second model. This is the Aerolet 01. It's approximately the very same size and possesses quite similar specifications, but it notably features significantly improved aerodynamics. That is to say, while the classic version typically has a distinct cigar-shaped form, this particular one has a somewhat more flattened shape at its tail section, so that a substantial part of the overall load can be effectively supported by its inherent aerodynamics. So it already functions quite similarly to an airplane. As it steadily gains speed, a significant portion of the overall load is effectively carried by its inherent aerodynamics. We are now almost completely done with the assembly process, and very soon we will proceed to the crucial step of carefully filling it with gas and then moving on to its initial comprehensive flight tests as well. And Nova 01 will also be repaired very soon and put back into active service. It will fly just as exceptionally well as it did before. Pilots will either retrain thoroughly or learn completely from scratch. I specifically asked about this particular aspect too, and they explained it to me in very simple, understandable terms. Imagine a driver's license for a standard car. You could certainly say that, with the invaluable help of a dedicated training center, an additional specialized category of driver's license will be meticulously created, but exclusively for an aircraft. Precisely only for an aircraft. That is, if there are classic airplanes and helicopters of various categories, now there will also be an airship. And like with regular driver's licenses, there is a certain theory, a foundation. You study the rules of the road and behavior on the road, including, and then you open up various other categories for yourself. That is, you have to fly according to certain rules, but when you get into an airship, you need to take some additional factors into account. Just like with traffic rules, for example, when you switch to a motorcycle, you only need to go through some additional, let's say, I wouldn't call it retraining, but you do need to gain extra knowledge about how the vehicle behaves in the air, how it is controlled, and you definitely need to acquire an additional knowledge base, of course. So, good afternoon, everyone. Do airships truly compete with existing transport aviation and the vast merchant fleet? Of course, they certainly can do that, but there is absolutely no real need for it because, as I may have previously mentioned, or perhaps not, at least for the present moment, in Russia, there are more than enough available routes, numerous white spots, where there is absolutely nothing at all, neither modern air transport nor efficient rail transport nor even a significant fleet is currently used. There is simply nothing there whatsoever. And so the airship is precisely one of those means of transport that can fill in these white spots and help establish logistics there, whether it's cargo transportation, perhaps passenger transportation, or maybe observation tasks. It can handle all of these. That's why it doesn't necessarily have to compete with anyone. There are more than enough routes that simply aren't occupied by anyone. They're open and in need of solutions, and the airship can handle most of them effectively. Because, for example, a helicopter could reach those places, but it would require a lot of fuel, energy resources, and money, so it's not economically viable. These particular regions or specific locations simply remain idle because it's not profitable to adequately serve them. With the significant help of an airship, you can effectively fill in these so-called white spots. You automatically join the 1000 Club when your investment portfolio reaches $10,000. As soon as the total investment amount reaches $10,000, a person is automatically enrolled in the 1000 Club. If the package reaches $50,000, then they move up to the 100 Club. Everything happens automatically. What precise size and specific type of airships should be produced for the esteemed representatives from Yakutia? I actually wasn't personally present at that particular working meeting, but as I understand it, they are at the very least interested in our next, more advanced model, the Nova 2, with a substantial volume of 2,000 cubic meters. Let me kindly remind you that we meticulously developed our entire line of airships based on our own carefully considered assumptions and a thorough understanding of which specific models would genuinely be of significant interest to the broader market. We have repeatedly encountered situations where clients come to us and say, of course, the Nova 2 is good, but if only there was, say, a Nova 3. So we do get such requests, and for us, in fact, it's no trouble at all to adapt to the client and make an airship that's slightly larger or slightly smaller. For Yakutia, even the Nova 2, if we provide the Nova 2, it can already perform a number of tasks that currently either cannot be done or are not economically feasible with the existing types of transport. So the Nova 2 will definitely be of interest to the market. What are the advantages of the Club 1000? So friends, look, first of all, various events are held in Moscow and information about them reaches club members first, faster than anyone else. Plus, some of these events can only be attended if you are a member of Club 1000 or Club 100. In addition, our participants also receive some souvenir products, which we distribute in one way or another and share with our partners. And as far as I am aware, there are also some very special promotional offers and exclusive benefits available to them that are not readily accessible to the general pool of investors or other individuals participating in the overall project. So, these are some of the significant advantages. I think that's essentially all, yes. So there are no further questions on YouTube. Let me now go back to VKontakte. So, well, it seems like there are no more questions. Friends, as promised, we concluded within the hour. Thank you to everyone who joined, and thank you for your insightful questions. You truly helped me grow as a specialist and expand my knowledge base because I'm not fully informed on every topic. Thanks to you, I also become better. So thank you for coming, for being active, and please don't forget to leave reactions and share our videos, not necessarily just this one. We have a lot of quality videos consistently coming out that we work hard to make for you. The latest ones are of truly superb quality. We talk about precisely what a dirigible is made of and exactly how it works. We spent a significant amount of effort and valuable time creating these informative videos. Be sure to check them out. This is indeed very high quality material that will help you better understand how a dirigible is built and precisely what makes it work. And accordingly, you can effectively use it to share valuable information about the very existence of a significant project like ours. It will genuinely help you, so to speak, explain in much greater detail, without much strenuous effort, precisely what the project comprehensively does, help someone truly understand dirigibles in a more general sense, thoroughly address the pertinent questions they might genuinely have, and dispel common cliches or inaccurate labels that may have been previously attached. For quite some time now, we've been working to popularize this field with our airship project. We want airships to make a comeback, to debunk the many myths that have developed over the years, and to do everything possible so that these lighter-than-air vehicles return, bring benefits, delight us, help us travel, explore the world, and enjoy the fact that they're back. And within our capabilities, we've essentially taken it upon ourselves to revive this field. That's why I want to thank everyone who participates, who watches. Thank you for coming today. I say goodbye to everyone. Thank you, and see you next time.
Solar Group presents. This was once just a dream of the skies, the freedom of flight, of round-the-world journeys. Yet we've made it happen. But what did it take? Our dreams became our goals. Our concepts turned into our plans. Our ideas have transformed into a roadmap and production technology. And the years ahead are booked out with development and construction, components and materials, model manufacturing and testing. All this marks the progress from dream to result. Join us on this journey. Solar Group presents a new generation of airships. The best way to predict the future is to create it, so let's do so together.